Okay. Well, let me mute that. And jump into this window in Google Chrome, since that's where the chat works. And you guys will have to let me know if you can hear me. Let me grab the water. Hey JB, how you doing? You can hear me. Okay, perfect. Let me just mute myself there. Hey, and I just want to make sure there's no echo, right? Okay, perfect. Hey, Kylie. I got your email. I have a few ideas for you, so sit tight. We'll email you back and let you know what you can do. Let me grab your instructions for live mini readings. How's the sound? Um, Let me know how the sound is. No echo. Thank you, JB. Really appreciate that. Sounding beautiful. Thank you, Kylie. Appreciate that. Okay. Awesome. Hey, P. Welcome. Okay. So let me go ahead and pin that. Actually, let me delete that because that link, there's no link there that will work because I have not made myself a moderator on my own channel. Let me switch accounts and go into the right account. There we go. That ought to do it. Cool. So glad that it looks to me like the camera is working. So hopefully it is working for you. Um, Glad you're working, Kylie. I love that for you. Okay, so there's the payment information. We're doing astro and tarot readings. If you would like to jump on the list, you can. You would be first. All you need to do is make your payment of 44.44 to that PayPal address. And with that, I'll set up a tarot and an astro reading for you. It'd be awesome to read for you. Um, Yeah, so it looks on my side like you guys can like see my camera. Let me know if you can't, because that was the issue last time was I wasn't able to get you guys visibility into like being able to show you cards when I read for you. So hopefully you guys can see the cards now. But yeah, welcome. Really great. Really glad to have you all here. Can't wait to do some live mini reads today. I think it's going to be a really good, a fun reading day. I thought I'd do it kind of pre-weekend. It's about to be a holiday weekend here in the States. So, for those who want to, um, I see JB is on the list. Cool. Thank you, JB. Thank you for confirming, Kylie. Really appreciate that. Okay. JB, I got you on the list. If you would be so kind as to drop your question and um your birth details, I would be happy to read for you first. Yay! We are off to the races. Really excited to do that. Um, cool. My polish. I hope you're not talking about nail polish, Kylie, because your girl's not wearing any and her nails are looking janky AF today. It's what you are seeing is au naturel nail color that and nails that need to be polished and cleaned. So, um, okay, amazing. We've got P on the list as well. Love it. So as soon as I get JB's info, then we'll be good to go. New things coming for me. You want some new things? I love it. Okay, let's get into it. Um, I need your birth time and location. Cool, JB. I love it. Let me go ahead and set up your chart. I'm going to stop this and pull up for JB a chart and just set it up here. Okay, there we go. Los Angeles. Okay, cool. And we're talking about May 6th, big Taurus energy in the house. Love to see it. And we are going for 11:38 p.m. Hey, where are my night owls at? Who else is a night owl in the chat? Love to see it. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. And JB wants to know about something new coming for them. So reading starts at 7:06 p.m. Hey, Raven South. It's always great to see you, hon. Thanks for joining and saying hey. I'm going to pull up a transit chart for you, JB, and we're going to get into it. Hmm. Okay, there's a few new things coming in for you, especially with Uranus arriving at these early degrees of Gemini. First of all, I see like the last 8 or 9 years, 7 or 8 years, 7 to 9 years, let me put it that way, have just had a lot of turbulence. And what I'm seeing with Uranus reaching that first degree of Gemini is that that's about to come to a halt. There's going to be significantly less turbulence in your life, thank God. The ups and downs where it came to friends, where it came to like manifestations going sideways, where it came to, I don't know if you had any like pregnancy scares anywhere in there, or if you have kids, ups and downs concerning the kids, I see all of that is coming to an end and things are about to get way more stable for you, even though they're about to get way more chaotic for the world. You have come through a tremendous process of growth with the way Pluto had been trining your Sun, your Mars, your Mercury, and your Chiron and Uranus having crossed over all of them from 2020 to now. And so I want to just congratulate you, first of all, because this was just an extraordinary period of upheaval that I see you've conquered. Like you've come through the other side with greater enlightenment, greater enrichment, greater awareness of who you are, what you want, and where you're headed in life. And not everyone even lives long enough to see Uranus touch those planets in their chart. And so I know you probably feel made different by it. You have been. And as a result, I'm seeing you step into a chapter and a season of your life that is going to open up some new opportunities. And one of the main ones I'm seeing, yeah, I look, JB, I see it here in your chart as well. It's about to calm down a lot. And one of the things that's coming in terms of brand newness with this new moon solar eclipse inside of Virgo on September 21st. So it's about, we're almost like a little under 30 days out. It's going to be pretty much opposite your natal Juno. And this is going to be about relationship and love for you in many ways. We see Jupiter transiting through your seventh house, of commitment, love, and partnership. This is going to be in the ninth house, which governs second marriages, second chances, resurrections. It will be conjunct the South Node, which can have a love interest come out of the past and into the present for you. It's a loose conjunction, but it's a conjunction nonetheless. And I see for you because it will strike your natal Juno, which is your partnership asteroid, your divine feminine energy, which is already getting a nice retrograde from Saturn that's bringing you into a new level of seriousness, for realness, grounded spirituality when it comes to love and relationship and partnership. I see you being ready to step into a partnership era at this time. We'll have a sextile from Transit Juno over here in the house of wish fulfillment. And I see for you the entire configuration of this particular eclipse. We also see Uranus square this eclipse, or sorry, trying this eclipse is going to bring you smack into your love era, like your love years. It's very, kind of I'm ready for love. Suitors on your mark, get set, get ready, and go because I see you really stepping into some real openness about letting love in. So that's the biggest new thing I'm seeing to you. Yeah, JB, you have done a lot of work emotionally. So kudos to you. I'm really happy to see that. Like I said, you're coming out of a really turbulent period. You're also finishing up the toughest years of what the Vedics call Sati Sati with Saturn transit moon and coming into the sign of Aries. And this is really going to assist you with getting into a place of feeling like I know who I am, what I want, I know what I'm worth, and I know what I'm willing to settle for and what I'm not willing to invest in anymore. And so there's a real marked closed chapter around the things that no longer serve you in love partnership because there's a marked awareness around who you no longer are. So happy to see that for you. I want to say congratulations and how excited I am for you with that change that you're making. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for you. I feel like this is a really big time. And P, if you would go ahead and uh, place your birth details in the chat. I'm about to read for you next. And anyone just joining the chat, welcome. It's an honor to be here with you. I'm reading now for JB, then I'm going to read for P. And if you would like to jump on the list, it would be your turn next. So let's pull some cards for JB. JB's looking for what newness he can, they can look forward to coming up here. So you have the Chariot reverse coming in sideways. There is the Fool. And that's interesting because I hear you saying you want newness, but these cards are telling me that some of your attention might be on the past here. And then falling on the floor, I'm picking it up now, uh, is the Emperor in reverse. And this is the Santa Muerte deck, the Santa Muerte Tarot deck, which is one of my favorites. I love that. I had a dream about this deck before I actually got the deck. I'd never seen it before, but I saw the back of the cards and then I ran into the deck somewhere online. I was like, what deck is that? I just had a dream about it. And I had to get it. So um what's what this is speaking to for me as I'm looking at it for you is like instructions. This newness wants to come in. The stars are favoring it, they're bringing it, the energy is here. But this energy and these cards are showing themselves like the universe is having to like jam open your mouth and force the blessing down your throat. There's a little too much focus on the past and like wanting to see, wanting to know, like, is somebody going to come back? Am I going to be ready if they do come back? Are they going to come back the way they used to be? Are we going to repeat a cycle? And I don't see that in your astrology at all. But these cards are really telling me that there's some concern about that on your side. And a little bit of like looking backwards, hesitation to go forward because maybe there was a love interest, an emperor upright, who behaved in some emperor reverse sort of ways, that had you a little hesitant, maybe gave you a few love scars here, not really ready to take that leap. And so the guidance here, as I'm looking at it, is we do have at the bottom of the deck the devil reversed. And so the guidance here, as I'm looking at it, is to support you to say you're not the same person you used to be. You can't repeat a cycle if your consciousness has expanded. It's not possible because you won't approach the same old problems with the same old consciousness that generated them. So I love to be able to share this with you. The important thing for you is to get to a place where you are paying attention to what you've learned and to apply what you've learned in a way that allows you to take prudent leaps. Like, this isn't just like, let's just take any leap with anybody that comes along, but instead really pay attention to what you've learned and then step into ownership of that as you move forward. Like I said, I did see huge new chapter in love showing itself for you. And just so you're aware, that chapter that I saw, astrologically speaking, it lasts a little more than a year. So you've got time into like well into next August and next fall. And even beyond that, you'll still have some time as Jupiter makes its way through your eighth house and your ninth house. So I want to encourage you to really release whatever hold the past has had on you and begin the process of focusing on completely new. Okay, because I feel like something new is right here in your energy, like really ready to come in for you, but it's going to require you being willing to relinquish the hold the past has on you, and stop looking back and start looking forward. Okay, that's what I have for you, JB. Let's just see if P posted. Let me know. Yes, okay, September 7th, 1996. Woo woo, big Virgo energy in the house. Okay, so P is born in Singapore. How did that resonate for you, JB? And we are looking at September 7th. Happy upcoming birthday, P. I really love this for you. You're going to have a nice eclipse on your birthday that's going to close out a cycle for you. 1:14 p.m. Great. Let me just confirm I've done all this correctly. September 96, 1:14 p.m. JB says, I feel it included my DM who doesn't resonate with me anymore. Releasing with love for my aligned soulmate. Grateful for the lessons. That's for damn sure. Good for you. Okay. DM co-parent. Tough decisions to be made around our shared child. Okay. Gotcha. Yes, my standards are so different now. Thank you. I appreciate you. I needed this confirmation. Consider yourself confirmed. And I'm now reading for P. If you would like to get on the list, you can. The list is wide open. You would be next. As soon as I'm done reading for P, I will be reading for you. All you need to do is send your payment of $44.44 to the pinned YouTube comment here. Let me share the desktop fully, different ways so that you can see your chart as I set your chart up. There's a pinned comment here. Just go ahead and share, send your payment, and then you would be next. All right. So of the people who've stopped by so far, 75% of them feel like they are night owls. Okay, 8 votes. Love it. Let's go ahead and read for P. Thank you so much, Flower. It's great to see you, hun. Okay, P. Question is, past is blocked for years. I felt the energy release in the last 2 days. Good, JB. That's you tapping into this eclipse energy and what it can do for you. How will the eclipse on my birthday shape my solar return year ahead, especially in terms of career, since I was laid off early this year and I'm still job searching and getting rejections? That is a great question. So let's take a look at the eclipse coming up. I'm also going to pull a solar return chart for you because I feel like that will help. P, where will you be on September 7th? What city and country? So I can pull a solar return chart for you. Looking at this, I think, I mean, you're right on time for the rejections to cease. Um, we see the end of the South Node transit through your 10th house. This was roughly a year and a half, 2-year transit here. Well, now that the South Node is leaving your 10th house, it is going to make it easier to land a job and find a job. With the South Node transit through the 10th, really will have pulled out two things. One, any motivation to do a job just for a paycheck. If it wasn't aligned, it wasn't going to land. Secondarily, any job that would have asked you to be other than yourself, less than yourself, operate outside of your purpose, that kind of job would have also been taken away, and the doors to uh, getting that kind of job would have been closed. Now that the South Node is leaving your 10th house, there's more opportunities to find jobs that could be considered stepping stones, not fully aligned, but adjacent or going in the correct direction. It will be much easier. With this eclipse, this is a full moon lunar eclipse. The eclipse is going to take place roughly here in the third house, the 15th degree of Pisces. Let's just see who all will get impacted. Loosely, the moon by trine, and got a semi-sextile to natal Juno. Okay. So this is very interesting. So this eclipse is, I do see that it's kind of closing a period of, it looks like almost like compromise or trying to almost, if you've got any sort of like family hooks in your career path, meaning you've done the thing that they wanted you to do, and you have foregone the thing that you needed to do for you, that was your soul's calling. I do see the lunar eclipse on September 7th in Pisces, bringing to your conscious awareness the end of that pathway. Like, I've been trying to do the thing you wanted me to do. It's not working for me. I have to do the thing that I need to do, want to do for me, because that is the only thing. Like, if I'm going to be unhappy and job searching, I might as well be job searching and unhappy doing something that I truly want to do for me. So I do see this period where it's just been, like I said, if there's been rejection, that's coming to a close. If there has been family, like a little too much family in your career path, for your life, for your soul path, that is also coming to a close. I see you starting to really peel back the layers of family trying to direct and steer you so that you can be on a path that's consciously more aligned with your soul and your spiritual calling here. The other thing I see this eclipse doing for you, interestingly enough, um, I see it really kind of, just see. Is your sun at the 14th degree of Virgo? Yeah, this eclipse takes place right on top of your sun. And with the sun as the governor of 9 and 8, I see you making some critical decisions about educational pathway, whether you decide to get some sort of certificate or get some sort of renewal. of a license, or you go back to school, I see you starting to consider the relationship between education and occupation and figure out for yourself, what do I need to do to get where I really want to be, and taking a step up. Now, if this is closing out a chapter of underqualification or overqualification, going back to school, or applying for higher level jobs, respectively, that really match where you are qualified for, is where I see this, the direction this taking for you. Okay. So I like to see this for you. I'm now going to pull your solar return chart. Let me know how this is resonating so far for you on the work front. Let's see, a solar return chart for P. P is going to be in Brazil. Anambi. Okay, let's check it out. Interesting. One of the other things that I'm seeing here as you start this year with this eclipse on your birthday is perhaps even considering, can I start a business or a consultancy of my own? It does look like one thing that you might consider this year is, if you've been thinking about starting a business or a consultancy, if in fact there are family members you can partner with, not family members who want to dictate to you and tell you what to do. That's what's closing out. But if there are family members who actually want your ideas to come to the table and want to partner with you on maybe building a business, a consultancy, this sort of thing, I do see that being something that not only do you consider, but it is something that looks like it could be successful this year. If this is the year you want to start that, this eclipse on your birthday. So that makes it so that any time during this year, from September 7th, 25 to September 7th, 26, the floodgates are open for astrological support for partnership in business with family members. Does look like siblings in particular could be supportive. It also looks like there could be a little bit of like potential support from like a father figure or a male authority figure. It could be like an uncle or a mentor or something like that. But it does look like support comes from those two directions in terms of bringing this business to bear. And it does look like this year would be a great year because there's like indication of financial traction. Um, and there could even be a sense of fulfillment of soul contract with that if you do have inclination to do it with family. There is some indication that it doesn't have to be exactly blood family, could be what we call soul family. So this is somebody who feels like family to you, whom you've adopted as a sibling to you into your family, in your heart. This sort of person could be a real great business partner. But again, I really want to make the distinction for you. This isn't about a person who is telling you what to do. Like, you need to go to school for law because the whole family is lawyers, and you need to be a lawyer too and continue the family legacy and tradition. This is definitely not that. This is 100% you stepping into being a business partner, business collaborator, with somebody who respects your ideas. You bring something to the table, they bring something to the table, and what everyone's bringing to the table is respected and appreciated. So that's the distinction here. Okay. Um, so I did see there in the chat that you had mentioned you're thinking about starting a business. So I love that for you. And 111 Solutions, I saw that you got on the list. Welcome. You're next. I'm going to read for 111 Solutions next. So 111 Solutions, if you would be so kind as to paste your birth details and your question in the chat. I will read for you as soon as I'm done here with Pete. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's provide some guidance here. This next rotation around the sun for P needs to know what they need to do to bring in a job stability, and that financial security. Let's have some guidance for P. We've got the King of Cups that wants to come out first. And we also have, let's see, that is too many cards. Share the message, share the guidance, keep it simple for her. Okay, we've got the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. This lets me know you've been overworking a little bit, trying to figure this out, but probably not networking enough. Interesting. Okay, yeah, this isn't about perfecting the resume. This also isn't about perfecting the cover letter, perfecting the interview. Yeah, this is definitely telling me you need to network some more. The next job for you is going to come from somebody you know. Um, it's going to come from a connection. There's someone in your life that can help you if you want to go the job route. And this is also talking about the siblings here. um, Trying to figure this out solo is not really the move. That's not what needs to happen. Instead, this is really about getting to a place where you are talking to people, networking. There are some people who are further ahead, and I'm seeing just kind of psychically that they came out of your cohort, and you may know who I'm talking about here. You may realize it after digesting this reading. There's some people who came out of your cohort that may have either graduated with you or just been on the same level with you in terms of job 2 or 3 years ago. But since then, they've leveled up. They've leveled up. They're now at a higher level than you. These people are actually the people you need to reach out to who can help you with your employment situation. They may not necessarily be hiring in their organization, but they may have colleagues in adjacent organizations that, like, they know you, they know your work, they know you can be trusted to get work done. They can refer you. And so there's so many, like King of Cups, Queen of Swords, the Lovers. This is really telling me that you need to be talking to people more about getting a job and doing less by yourself with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, trying to find a job. The job is going to come from somebody you know. It's probably something that won't be listed, won't be online. This is even potentially like a professor, like somebody you who's educated you with the Queen of Swords upright, with a feminine energy, who's just incisive, thoughtful, very intellectual. This Queen of Swords energy is somebody who I would definitely speak to and say, hey, I'm looking. You may have told them you were looking before, but that was then. They may assume you've already found something since they haven't heard from you. Reach out to them again now that we're entering a new season. I guess in Brazil, it's about to become spring. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's about to become fall. Now's the time to reach out again and just let people know, hey, I'm looking. Definitely tap your network. There's opportunities available through the people that you already know. Okay. And it looks like they're going to be really happy to help you. Happy to help you level up, happy to see you get to where you want to go. The male figure in particular is, I'm not necessarily seeing that as a person, although if it is, again, it does look like a mentor or a professor type of person. That entity, that individual does look like they just care a lot. They want to see you do well, and if they can help you do well, they will. So don't try to go this alone, is what I'm seeing. Like, give yourself a lot of space, freedom, and permission to just be shameless in your asks of your network, is what I'm being guided to tell you. Okay. So Now we're going to read for 111 solutions. Thank you so much. Okay. Um, it is going to get better for you soon, P. I've been thinking about starting a business, but I'm still unsure. No worries. Awesome, Amaya. Welcome. You're opening a new restaurant. Hooray! Based on the astrology, what advice are the best strategies I can employ moving forward? I love that question because that's about how you use the astrology, not what the astrology is going to do for you, how it's going to, push you, pull you. That's a great question. Um, Really curious. So I'm also going to add another poll. Are you guys feeling the eclipse energies? Let me know if you're feeling the eclipse energies. I'd be super curious. Amaya, great question. Let's get into it. And if you would like to be on the list, you would be right after Amaya C, who I'm reading for now. Um, I would love to read for you. You just need to send your payment of 44.44 to the pinned comment there in the chat, and I will read for you. Very empowering question. I haven't been networking much. I've mostly been doing things alone, but good to know. I'll try that. Our ex colleagues also included. Yes, P. Definitely with that lover's card. Ex colleagues can be very helpful for you at this time. Okay. More networking, less trying to figure it out by yourself. Okay. All right. So, Amaya's birthday, big Sag energy in the house from Edison, New Jersey. Shout out to the East Coast. And we are looking at 11/30, 1987, 7:45 p.m. Okay, let's just make sure I did it right. 11:30:87, Edison, New Jersey, 7:45 p.m. Opening a restaurant. How do I work with the energies? You got it. Okay. Let's take a look. Your reading is starting at 7:37. So, if this is your opening day for your restaurant, a few things that I really like. First of all, that Mars is direct. Mars is traveling through Libra in your fourth house. Let me just see the influences on your natal Venus and your natal Juno. Okay, got it. Uh, 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 um, okay, that's good. Believe it or not, I do see that you might have a few um, family members that could be potentially helpful. I see there are a few that you've had to be like, you know what, I can't even listen to you right now. Please, like, I'm just going to pretend you did not say that for the sake of having a good holiday with you. I see there's a few family members where you've had to kind of like just ignore, but believe it or not, there are some family members who are watching your level up and going like, damn, go Amaya. Like, look at her do the thing. Like, I'm so proud of her. Like, she's out here getting it. Like, let me figure out how I can do it too. There are some family members, not the ones you need to ignore, but some other ones that would love to be supportive to you on opening day. Like they want to be there when you turn on the lights, when you unlock the door and let your first patrons in. The week before, like they want to help you like carry in the boxes, set stuff up. They want to know like how can they help. And so, if you've been trying to do this on your own, I would strongly recommend leaning on some family that maybe you haven't considered that you could get support from and just say, hey, like opening day is coming. I would really love to include you guys in the launch of this business. If you've got time, I need help on this date, and this date between these hours. Like, don't feel obligated, but I would really like to include you in my in taking this step in my life, because you've been such a huge and important part of me getting to this moment. And just see, see who responds back. Like I said, I think there's going to be a few people where you'll be like, yeah, I'm not even including them on that group chat thread because I don't want to hear anything they have to say. I definitely see that here. There's some people here where it's just been a rocky road for a while, like since childhood. And it's just gotten worse recently. They've thrown you a few curveballs where you're like, you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that because I want to have a good holiday this year. But then there's other ones that I see are just like, go, Amaya, go. Definitely lean on them. They want to be there. So, like, get support. They've been so receptive and supportive. That's great, Amaya. I'm really happy to hear that. Like, lean in, like, let them join you on this journey because I see they are going to be extremely helpful in, like, just like, as it's a like being like, like getting things moving and keeping things smooth and having your back in ways that strangers that you hire just couldn't or wouldn't, right? They'll go that extra mile, is what I'm seeing. Okay. Um, Additionally, like longer term, as I'm looking at the chart of the day of the opening, I do see that this chart is it's speaking to working hard. I see this leveling you up, like this is going to quantum leap you in terms of your business consciousness as a person and your financial cognizance and awareness. I'm also seeing that this is going to it's just going to place you in a new place in terms of not just your business acumen and financial acumen, but as a you, as a person, as an individual. It's going to take you to a new level in terms of personal growth as well. So that's really exciting. I also see the chart of the day that the business opens. For some reason, it's really good for your love life. I see the sun on this day is opposing your natal Juno. Um, and I also see here that we have, let me just see what the other aspects are. There's some activation to your natal Venus here, um, coming in from a square from Saturn and Neptune. Um, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. With a Pisces Juno, you can be like unconditionally loving and accepting in a demonstrative way, especially in the eighth house, in a way that can be destructive to you. And so, what holding this business in the third dimension is going to do is it's going to level up your ability to be unconditionally loving in a way that is no longer destructive to you. And this is how it's having this business as this being the opening day. This is going to help your love life by really like kind of showing anyone who wants to be connected with you romantically. Look, don't come here with the BS. Like, I'm not with the fuck shit. Like, you need to actually show up or step out of the way, like disappear yourself because I have things to do. And so, just the way you carry yourself, articulate yourself, the things you're doing on a day to day basis, that schedule, that commitment in the third dimension is going to call out of the fifth dimension your love to show up in the third dimension to support you. So, I love to see that. We also see the ruler of your seventh house of marriage and commitment retrograding right on top of your north node, which lets me know if you're not already married for whatever reason, holding down this business in the third dimension is about to make it so for you. You are about to step into that commitment. So this is a great chart for your business, for the restaurant. Get that family support. I'll also say really will serve your love life. Like without you even having to focus on love, it is going to focus your love life. It's going to like snatch it, like bring it together in some key ways, which I think will be really good for you. It's going to bring it some structure. Which, hey, whose love life doesn't need structure these days? Everybody's love life does, as far as I can see. Let's go ahead and see what are the energies surrounding starting the business on the date that you selected. What energies can she work with? Let's shuffle these cards up. Shuffle these cards up. Now, if you'd like to get on the list, you can. I am just wrapping up here with Amaya. She is the one that I was just reading for. It will be your turn next. I would love to read for you. And let's see here. Let me use a few flips. You would be next. If you'd like me to read for you, all you need to do is send your payment of $44.44 to the PayPal link in the pinned comment. Once I have your payment, as soon as it's your turn, I'll add you to the list, and as soon as it's your turn, I would be reading for you. And right now, you would be next. The list is really short. So, what are the energies Amaya can look for when it comes to starting her business this September? What are the energies she should be working with? Okay, we've got the Five of Wands upright as an energy to be aware of. Okay, the next three kind of came out together. Um, okay, we've got the Knight of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Swords. First of all, I mean, I do see, because of the position of Uranus in your chart, and this Five of Wands just kind of validates it, that there is a ridiculous amount of just things you didn't know that you didn't know, that has you kind of running around with like a chicken with her head cut off, trying to figure out what needs to happen next, and just feeling, specifically, I'm seeing you feel a tightness around time, and like things needing to happen simultaneously or concurrently in a way that really has you feeling under the gun to have everything ready appropriately by the correct time. Again, this is where I'm seeing you can lean into family, and in particular, there's a younger male and an older male in your family that are going to be advantageous to you to reach out to. This could be soul family, it could be a cousin, it could be an uncle, it could be a dad, it could be a mentor. But somebody who has been by your side, kind of like family, if not true blood family. I see this younger and older male energy, and it could even be a female, but she has more masculine, get it done, third dimensional energy, very practical. Um, Being able to help. Now, what's interesting is the distinction between a Knight of Wands and a King of Swords. Um, one of these people is super creative, the other one is pragmatic AF. Um, Apply them to what it is they're good at. Like the pragmatic person, like if you need scheduling done for deliveries and you can't be there, and you need somebody who can think on their feet to be able to like put, like make sure the refrigerated stuff is actually in the walk-in, like apply the King of Swords. If you need somebody to like quick make up some menu changes on, Canva, and then get them printed, apply that to the Knight of Wands, this sort of thing. Like, know based on who people are and how they operate, what you can count on them for, and give them appropriate jobs. By doing that, I do see you really come out on top with that Wheel of Fortune card there. Um, it just looks like it's a great time. Like there's just a lot of fortuitous energy and blessing energy in launching at this time. Like I said, there's really supportive people, despite the fact that, it just the day, like the month, it just looks chaotic. There's just, again, and the chaos isn't because of poor planning. I'm seeing this being, I didn't know that I didn't know that I would need to do that. And so just trying to, roll with it and receive support where support can come in. Um, I want to just confirm for you with that Five of Wands, I do not see that being the energy of detractors or negative people around you. Like I see you really having, just psychically, I'm looking at your energy, really good boundaries around it. You've already moved some of the naysayers and the negative people out of your space already. Um, where they're just not um, being disruptive to you. So that's really good. I'm really excited that you've been able to do that and really keep your space clear. You know who those people are, is what I'm being shown. And it's just a matter of keeping those people out of your space going forward. I don't see them being a part of the process, like at all. So very good. All right. Thank you, Flower. Maya says, yep, so good at delegating. Yes, very good. Okay, excellent, Amaya. So it sounds like that resonates for you. Love to hear it. Let's see what's going on with our poll here. See, people, yes, you're already feeling the eclipse energies. I love to hear it. That is awesome. Let's know you guys are in tune with the energies. You're already paying attention, which is awesome. Okay. Alrighty. Flower, since there's nobody on the list just yet, I'm gonna do you a question. I am curious how everyone's August went because we had the Lionsgate. We're 30 days out from two eclipses. What has August been like for you? And Flower, if you want to paste your birth details and a question, I will read for you. I'm going to go ahead and share the stream over on the main channel and just let folks know, like, hey, we're doing live mini readings. So if they would like to join, they can. You're welcome, Amaya. I'm wishing you the best, the very best of luck with all of it. This is such a huge step, and I'm really, really excited for you. Um, Thank you, Flower. Yeah, and for those of you who are here, let me know, like, how was your August? There was Lionsgate at the start of the month, and then on the 7th we were 30 days out from the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse, and then we on the 21st, which was just 7 days ago, we were 30 days out from the Virgo new moon solar eclipse that's coming on the 21st of September. These energies can be super potent 30 days prior. So I'm curious about 7th of August, 21st of August. Did any major changes show up for you or things shift for you? If so, what? And I'm also curious just how was your Lionsgate? Mini readings over on the live mini reading channel. Stop by to say hi or maybe chart plus tarot reading. Add a video. Yes, you can use cookies, Google. Let's see. Okay. One thing that I have noticed is just like some clarity because for me, the Pisces Virgo energy deals with my house of communication, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. It also deals with consciousness as well as my leadership when it comes to education and teaching. And so there has been a lot of clarity about the direction that I want to move in when it comes to my business, like how I want to teach, the shape of things to come, what it is that I'm going to be sharing and what I'm not going to be sharing going forward. There's been just a lot of certainty. Like the plan is getting to a place of definitive certainty. And so I like that. For me, I think that that's something that I have been wanting for a long time. But I'm curious what's come in for you and if it relates to your Pisces Virgo axis in any way. I need to get this. There we go. Now it's inserted. Now it'll post. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, let me come back. Switch account, come back to the live mini reading and come back to this channel. Amazing. Hey, flower. Okay. So we're going to read now for flower. And you guys let me know there in the chat how you're, let me share screen. You guys let me know there in the chat how your August has been. Let's share screen. Here goes flower. Okay. You're welcome, Amaya. You're very welcome. Okay, so Flower was born on 8/18. Happy belated birthday, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mm, 1971, 7:24 a.m. Let me confirm that I've done all this right. So we've got 8/18/71 and we have 7:24 a.m. So that didn't take. Let's edit that. 4 a.m. Okay, there we go. 7:24 a.m. Bridgeport. Awesome. Okay, so Flower says, looking forward to finally getting stuff moved, settling in, family not banding together for this move, hoping to change that, not banding together. It's been a very stressful move. Yeah. I'm learning about setting boundaries for myself and others. Thank you, love. I did what I wanted and focused on me. Got it. Amaya says, I finally felt a sense of balance, peace, dropping crutches, picking up opportunities, feeling a white flame energy. It's been absolutely transformational. I don't recognize myself sometimes. That's amazing, Amaya. Good for you. Okay. And I think you will change that flower. Let me know what question specifically you want me to look at for you when it comes to your chart, or maybe it's who I've always been meant to be. There's definitely one of the things I'm seeing with the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse is a lot of peeling away of who we used to be. At the bottom of the deck at the end of your read, Amaya, was the Ten of Swords, just FYI. But the Ten of Swords in the Light Seer Tarot is a woman who's walking away from darkness and toward light. And I do see that that's a big theme of where you're at right now, where you're just not dealing with dumb stuff anymore from people. You're not letting yourself get caught up in people's their dimensional issues and interpersonal issues. You're letting yourself elevate, which is a really beautiful thing to see. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. I just need you to share your question, Flower, and we'll read for you. Okay. So many questions. Okay, what do you see happening in my career? They just laid off a lot of people at work. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, I literally felt like the song Golden was written for me. I love that song. Yeah, definitely see that up level for you. I'm not surprised. Flower, your reading starts at 8 on the nose. I'm not surprised that they laid off a bunch of people at work. We do see Uranus having just stepped into Gemini. Um, and with Uranus stepping into Gemini, big changes in the career sector, given that this is the governing sign of your 10th house, is what's in order. Let's just check out your natal Mercury and see what's happening because that's the governing planet of your 10th house. It's at the ninth degree of Virgo. And I think these eclipses might have played a role in some of that movement. You just see what's going on here. I want to check out the 9-7 eclipse for you first because that's the closing eclipse. Mm-hmm. And that one is right on top of this particular, it's directly opposite your natal Mercury. I want to be clear. I think your job is safe. I think you are going to be fine. Um, I'm not seeing a closure for you personally, but I do see how this is going to impact you in some ways where it's going to make you feel like you have to step up as almost like a partner in the business in certain ways, Flower. Um, with that, I'm trying to see if they're going to give you more money or if you need to ask for more money and when it will come. So, money earned income for you is Venus and Juno. Where's Juno? Okay, 25 degrees of Leo. And let's just see here. It's not that you. Okay, this might be a bit of a process, Flower. Okay, just vibrationally, here's what I'm picking up. Part of why they laid people off is they were overextended in terms of their monthly, like the monthly nut for the business against the amount of revenue that they were bringing in. Like the revenue, like, and the fastest way they could cut costs was to cut payroll. Um, instead of finding other places to cut costs. They just realized they had too many people on schedule, Flower. So they cut payroll in order to maintain the same level, same quality of product going out the door. I believe you told me at one point you worked at like a restaurant or in the food and beverage industry. They want to maintain the same level of product going out the door, but the product price has increased and they just couldn't increase wages. And I'm seeing they still can't increase wages. This was an effort to keep the business from going under. I work in an insurance company. Okay, got it. Yeah. And so I don't know if they have y'all on the road and they're paying for your gas or what, but they're overextended is what just psychically I'm picking up on for you. And so this was an effort to balance the books. Because they're just trying to balance the books, not get ahead, they are not actually able to give you a raise yet. I do see it's coming, but it's going to be unrelated to you stepping up in present time. Um, Jupiter conjunct Moon, I think, is going to be really good for you when it comes to them like seeing you as a star player, someone they can't lose, they really need to keep you, this sort of thing. I see that here. Um, they're in a place where they know they need you. They can't afford to lose you. And I think you've probably told me you've been a bit Johnny on the spot for these people. Like you've just done what needed to be done, without always having to ask what needed to be done or focusing on what you needed. I see that they really value you. They're not trying to lose you. The money, however, like they just, I don't want to, I hate to say this, but I'm seeing that they are struggling to like just keep things, the books balanced. This is, I don't like to say this, but the earliest I see new money coming in for you, Flower, let's just get to the 25th degree or the 15th degree of Cancer. Let me just see now again. You could get a little money if you ask now. Is this brought on by you asking? Yep, it's you taking the initiative to ask. They're not offering. Your boss has been your friend for more than 25 years. Okay, so she's probably let you in, or he's probably let you in on what's going on behind the scenes. And I am seeing that what's going on behind the scenes, it's messy, girl. It is messy. Um, the foundation of the company needs to get restructured for profitability, and that this layoff was a part of that. With Mars in your second house, I do see you could ask for a raise now. You would get a little money. You just got your annual. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's not something big. It's just kind of like, eh. But I do see that in about a year's time, um, there's way more. Like, let me go out to this time in 2026. Yeah, because that's when we see Jupiter conjunct your natal Venus, Venus as governor of the second. Your raise is going to be more significant next year. In fact, I think you have the ability to really press them next year for more than just the annual, to like double it in some capacity. So um I would say if you press now, you might get like 10% more. If you wait and then press in 2026 at the annual raise time, the potential to get like a 20% or a 30% increase is significantly more likely. It can be a big jump at that time. So I would rock with it. Like just be a team player, do what you got to do to just, let them know like, look, I get it. Business is not always easy. I see you trying to figure out what needs to happen here. Thank you for my annual. And thank you for letting me stay employed. And like just like yeah, just double down on showing that you're the team player that they need right now, and just know that like when the time comes, especially if you've been documenting the way you've made the money, saved the money, and prevented them from having to hire more people by making the work more expedient to get done, like you've actually been like collapsing jobs instead of generating more work. I see that for you, um, documenting this lands you in a place where you can actually command a significant raise next year at annual raise time. Um, I wish it was easier, man. I'm sorry, but yeah, I behind the scenes, them people messy. Them people like I don't know what's been going on. Somebody's been mismanaging the books over there, and it's not so much of a mismanagement as a they haven't figured out how to keep pace with the intersection between inflation and the cost of goods rising and the cost of living rising and where wages need to be and the cost of doing business. Like they've just whoever is like managing the books and running the business over there, they just have not figured out how to navigate this level of turbulent water. And so the lever that they know how to pull is the let's if we eliminate like 5 or 6 different jobs, that'll keep, 250 grand in the business this year before we need to close the books. Um, and it'll just bring us out of the hole. Okay. Um, and I think that is what they're looking for is to just, I'm sensing there's a hole there and they're trying to get out of it. Okay. Um, R says, yes, they are. We need to take charge. I'm a fly above the radar. That's good. Let me go get my free office chair and desk tomorrow. Most of the staff work from home. Okay, great. Um, yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think they have any problem with you working at home based on what I'm seeing here. They do not question 35 people. Dang. That's more than 250,000. That's like they were trying to recoup 1 million. That lets me know like the situation was dire. I don't know if your friend mentioned that the company was considering like, do we declare bankruptcy? Like, what do we do? But there's like, it was a dire situation there. Okay. So I'm pulling cards for you now. And if you want to get on the list, you can. I'm doing tarot, astro, and a bit of channeling for folks tonight. So if you want to get on the list, you can. Um, it's 44.44 USD. And you just send that payment to PayPal, and I will put my gifts at your disposal to answer a question for you. Love, money, eclipses, the past, the future, the present, some of the people in your world. We can talk about all of it. So, what does Flower need to know about what's going on with her job right now? Um, what does Flower need to know about what's going on at her job right now so that she can stay at the job as too many cards and be successful and secure the bag when they have financially recovered? What does Flower need to, girl, you may quit. Not now, but yeah, I see the exit is here. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what's going on bottom of the deck, the moon. Yeah. Okay. So your friend who just became your new manager, who's been your friend for a long time, she may spill the bags. She may spill the beans on like behind the scenes how messed up things are. If she hasn't already told you, um, if you ask, I see she'll tell you. But you may not want to know because you got enough drama going on. What I'm also seeing here as well is that this did eliminate some of the problem, but not enough of it. There's still issues behind the scene. There's like demands on the revenue that just cutting payroll wasn't going to resolve. It solved a lot of the problem, but it did not solve all of the problem. In addition to the layoffs, I do see there are some key people who are just going to choose to exit, which is unfortunate. They don't like the vibes, like the direction of things. They don't feel good about the instability, and they're just going to be like, yeah, I'm out. Um, so I do see there's a few more people to come that are going to go away. Um, For you in particular, as I look at this spread, especially with the moon reverse bottom of the deck, I think, like I said, you're going to be fine. It's just a matter of like I see there's people around you who just may I think they got rid of a lot of the people who just couldn't handle going through lean times with the business. Like in a lean time, everyone has to stretch and do more than their share. And that with that seven of wands upright, that's what I'm seeing happening for you. I see this next year you're about to be stretched, girl, and I mean stretched. Uh in such a way where it's just difficult to complete any one task without somebody else coming to you with something else that they need you to do. Um and I think some of this is part of a reconceptualization of leadership around what the most important tasks to get done are, because in letting 35 people go, like you're not going to be able to do the same level of business that you previously were able to do. You're going to have to focus on the most essential tasks. And what I'm seeing here for you in particular, Flower, you are actually going to take the lead on demonstrating this is essential, this is not. I don't know that the leadership group is going to be able to tell you this or help you focus your day to day tasks. I think, given your time at the company and what it is that you know just keeps customers paying, some of these are going to have to be executive decisions that you make on your own. And I wouldn't worry about making the wrong decision. I think the main thing is just retention, like just not losing customers, not losing clients, not having to have the company pay out while management figures out what kind of policy changes that they need to make in order to become a sustainable company again. Um, I don't see any major changes to your role. I don't see any major changes to you being a part of the company at all. I see there's more people to go, that 35 left, but there's still going to be some more. And these are going to be significant players, like people you didn't anticipate going. Um, and I think if you ask your friend, like, what is really going on, she'll tell you. But in the meantime, yeah, like you are probably going to show your higher ups this is what's essential and this is what's not by what you get done and the amount of money you keep inside the company by through your customer retention efforts. But yeah, ooh, tough times. But they're not the only ones in tough times. Like everyone is going through a reformulation of how they do business at present time because the money is just different now than it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, even a decade ago. Like the way the industry is set up, it just looks completely different. So, ay, 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 Flower, hang in there. And like I said, from what I can see, your job looks super secure. Okay. Um, Awesome. Let me know how that resonates. And welcome back, Kylie. Great to see you here. Great to have you. If you would like to get on the list, you can. Hey, Jessica Marie, it's been a minute. I have been wondering about you. Um, I've been wanting to send you an email because I've just been curious, just how you've been doing with everything, with your family, with your dad. Just been thinking about you a lot, girl, and keeping you in my prayers. Um, if you want to get on the list, you can. I'd be more than happy to read for you. You would be next. You would be the person I read for now that I have just finished with Flower. Just make your payment. Make your payment at your pinned PayPal link, and we'll do your reading next. Oh, Jessica Marie, I am so sorry to hear that, hun. That is hard. That is so hard. I am so sorry to hear that. I'm sending you a lot of love, like just wrapping you in love, girl. Wrapping you in so much love. I know that was a tough change. Um, when we got that news earlier this year. Ay, ay, ay. Um, hang in there, girl. Hang in there. Rebirthing yourself through this and just holding yourself in this it's a big deal. And I know you know how to do this, but I also know it doesn't get easier. I okay. Well, if you'd like me to read for you, I can. List is open. I am curious, make sure the pin comment is still showing. I think it is. Yeah, it's there at the top. Uh, you're gonna send payment. Okay, Jessica. I'm happy to read for you, hon. Um, yeah. Oof. I am doing some channeling for folks tonight where, when it comes through. So, if you need some channeled messages, I can look at the energy for you as well as do the um, tarot and the astro for you. Okay, Jessica. Let's see. I wonder why the message did not go through. Let's try again. There we go. Okay. Um, you're up, lovely. Whenever you're ready, just paste your birth details and um your question. Don't channel me, you'll be frazzled mess for the rest of the week. Oh man. Flower, that's funny. I mean, just channeling your job was frazzling. I was like, what is going on over here? It was messy, girl. It was messy. But Flower, you'll have to let me know. Has your friend told you any of the behind the scenes stuff? Because like I said, I was looking at it and it was messy. Um, real messy. Wow, so many of you have lost dads. Amaya, Jessica, Flower. This has been a big transition time for men. Um, and that is one of the things that I have been seeing a lot of. Um, I'm going through Perry and I feel like I'm dying. Ay, 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 I'm so sorry to hear about that. Yeah, Perry is it's its own beast. I will say if Perry is something you're dealing with, I really like the work of Dr. Jolene Brighton. She actually just posted something today about HRT, GLP-1s, and perimenopause. So definitely check out Jolene Brighton's work. Um, she's an excellent resource, and also Dr. Marisa Snyder. Their podcasts on YouTube are excellent for women going through peri. Your friend said that she wants to leave. She was an executive and she was demoted. I mean, listen, Flower, I'm telling you, she got shut out of decision making. Yeah, that's tough, Flower. Oh my gosh. Um, but I mean, the fact that they didn't just get rid of her altogether, because executives have the biggest pay package. So lets me know that they actually still feel like they need her. I don't know that the decision was political. It might have been a little bit, but um yeah, I see that with that Six of Wands upright, I see her trying to find a way out. But yeah, that whole situation, like the behind closed, she was shut out of decision making because she wants to do things that are too much like right flower. Um, they're messy and they have some messy things that they need to do to clean up the mess that is happening over there. And they just didn't. One of the reasons she got demoted was because to bring her in, like they're about to do some messed up stuff to correct some of the fiscal problems that are going on over there, is what I'm picking up. And it's not messed up stuff. It's just like, this ain't all the way kosher, but we're going to do it anyway because we can, because we need to. That sort of thing, Flower. So, and I just see your friend has a moral compass and just like a value system that just wouldn't let her participate in some of that. And so this is why they shut her out of some of the decision making. But they recognize they still need her. Like they still need her to do some work. They just can't involve her in, let's just say, some gray areas. Laid off people been there 35 years instead of letting them retire. Wow. Wow. Probably because they couldn't pay out on that pension. If your company did pensions, they like what I was seeing there as I was looking at the energy of the company, like it was a drastic need for a dire situation to change immediately. Um, it was like the situation looks immediately problematic. Okay, hang on, because I don't see it, Jessica. Hang on. Yeah, I don't see it here. Yeah, definitely repost it because I don't see it. I was just waiting on you. Kylie, if you could just hang on posting for just a second, let me get Jessica Marie's details because I don't see it. They need her for my department. She created it. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Um, the situation is, like I said, this was like a oof. It's just it hurts looking at it. Not physically hurts, but it's just kind of like this is a company that's in some real trouble and needed to make immediate changes to try to stop the bleeding. And so it's unfortunate, like, because it's not that it was mismanaged, it was mediocrely managed. Um, it wasn't excellently managed and it wasn't poorly managed, but we have entered in a time in US industry and economy where mediocre is not going to cut it. Um, okay, hang on. I will do that, Kylie. Thank you. it's just mediocrely managed. And so because it was averagely managed, it was going to do it. Averagely managed could work in a time where we weren't dealing with stagflation. There we go. I see it now. Thank you so much, Kylie. I got it. Um, whew. So they have a need to up level, and it's just coming a little late in the game. Um, Given how the economy started changing like last year, 2 years ago, like in some pretty significant ways. They needed to have been making changes back then. And I see that they didn't. They just kind of continued to go the way they were going with some changes, but not enough to save them from a moment like this. So, okay. So here we go. 3/23, 1985, 3:34 a.m. Peterborough. Okay. Health and wellness question. How can I best navigate the perimenopause shit show? That is an excellent question. Okay, first of all, um, I'm seeing with Jupiter through the sixth, and two things are true. One, you there's resources support through educational mechanisms that can help you at this time. Looks like there's a teacher or some sort of mentor or guide that can really help you. And you're going to get like a referral if you ask around, referrals through friends. Like I said, definitely check out Too Many Salesmen, Not Enough Sales. Yeah, Flower. That's kind of what it looked like. Um, Jupiter governs the 11th, as you know, um, and also the second. And so, on the one hand, if there has been weight gain, which can happen with Jupiter through the sixth, and in particular in perimenopause, um, referrals through friends and colleagues can help you find the resources and support you need. So definitely check out Dr. Marisa Snyder and Dr. Jolene Brighton. Their just their work for free, like on their podcast and blogs, can help you a lot. Um, okay, that's the first thing. Second thing I'll say is um Jupiter through the sixth can also be a blessing. It can really help you get in some of the best shape of your life once you have the intel you need. Um, some of the insulation, if there has been weight gain, let's just call it insulation, has been a response to a lot of emotions. It looks like this has been like Jupiter through Cancer, just an emotional time for you. Um, Now I'm just picking up from a channel perspective. Your dad carried a particular frequency of old guard divine masculine energy, and some of his crossing over was a function of needing to be a guide here for the younger generation of divine masculine energy that's evolving here on the planet. With Jupiter trying Saturn from the sixth, I see he's positioning himself because Saturn is the dad. Jupiter trine Saturn next year, I'm seeing he has really positioned himself on the other side to help facilitate some of the crossing over of like the coming of age, I guess you could say, of the incarnate divine masculine energy. So that's just a channeled message that came out unrelated to the perimenopause and health related question. The other thing that I'm seeing here is so I'm hoping that brings you a little bit of comfort in understanding why this transition, why now. It's because there's men who need him in present time to be a guide, a deliverer of messages, a dream guide, a metaphysical guide, this sort of thing, coming into his higher consciousness through dropping the third dimensional challenges. Okay, now when it comes to your own healing, though, we do see the sixth is governed by the moon. Here's the moon here in Aries. Much of this you already know. We've talked around this, but not directly about this. When the moon governs the sixth, it is necessary to have emotional outlets so that emotions, the chemical cascade of emotional flares, don't get caught in the cellular um, deposits in the body. So for you, Moon in Aries, movement is going to be critical, but it's also movement paired with language and words, since this is the third house. And specifically, I also say movement in small groups, like in pods. So I don't know if you've been walking or if you've got like a workout group, or anything that you're doing that allows you to sweat. Um, but also speak out loud. I see that's really going to help you. Um, yeah, it makes sense. On Earth here, he was toxic, toxic, toxic. Yeah, he had completed that pathway and was ready to jump into some evolution. I do see that for him here. Yeah, he was ready to step into his next level of consciousness. Um, but here we go, like for you, movement and language. So it's not just like a talk therapy thing, but I do see some of that, like just somebody to hold the bucket while you vomit release words that have been pent up is going to help. But then there, because Moon is in Aries, there's a real need to sweat, to move, to engage in athleticism. Anything that combines like affirmations and movement together for you is actually really going to help your body reprogram itself, reset the nervous system. And as that nervous system unwinds and the emotions begin to come back into homeostasis, as the grief releases and life continues and you bring in new experiences, like the potency of the grief, I guess I could say. Um, this is what's going to allow your body to greet and rebalance some of the perimenopause hormonal changes with less holding. Because what I'm seeing here, and you let me know if this is accurate, Jessica, I'm seeing your body doing some holding, some expansion, like it's holding on to a lot of emotion in the cells. Um, Maybe you've lost weight with some of the grief, but what needs to happen just to keep processing and moving it is movement for you. Emotional release through movement and lifting weights. I see lifting weights could be very helpful for you. Um, Emotionally, it's like there has to be emotional and physical release simultaneously, which will help you rebalance some of the hormones. But again, like I said, I feel like for you hormonally, we have water sign Cancer on the sixth, emotions and hormones, that combination for you is it's like your biological hormones that govern like the perimenopause process are deeply influenced by your emotional processing. And so the more you're able to really regulate your emotions, process the grief in direct ways, like really be in a process of emotional release, this is going to help your hormones come into a place of just full functioning again. I'm also seeing you probably need to see a doctor here around some HRT. I think that's going to help a lot. Again, that third house is education. Aries is a sign of taking initiative. So, taking some initiative around education when it comes to peri, and finding an educator who can really support you is going to help bring your body back to a place where you feel like yourself again. Okay. Um, but yeah, emotions, big time. You need to find ways to get into regular emotional release. That's going to help you a lot. Okay. But let's just see. I want to see some messages for you. I think there's some spiritual messages that want to come through as well. Let me pull some oracle cards for you, my love. I'm going to pull from this deck, the Intuitive Whispers Oracle deck. That is a deck that was gifted to me last year. Yeah, all of this resonates deeply. Thank you for confirming everything I've muddled over. You're welcome. Let me go back to Zoom. And if you'd like to get on the list, you can. I will read for you next. Um, right now I'm reading for Jessica Marie, talking about health stuff. But I can read for you and we can talk about anything you like: love, money, work, career, eclipses, retrogrades, the holidays, your solar return, your kids, your family, how to improve relationships, how to evolve relationships, anything you need, we can discuss. We're going in depth today with a combination of tarot and astro and channeled messages for folks. There is some channeled information coming through from your dad. Um, he is just wanting you to know he's like very, very proud of you, Jessica. Like he sees all that you do for others. He sees your big heart and how much you give. And he's acknowledging how much you gave to him. Ooh, Jessica, he wants to acknowledge with you that it's not supposed to be that way, that a parent takes so much from their child. A parent is supposed to give to their child. And he's sorry that in life he took so much from you. He's acknowledging that it was the fulfillment of like sort of like soul contract between you and him, that it worked that way. But it's heartbreaking for him now to have put you through it. And even in present time, he's acknowledging that, oh, he's communicating this complex thing where there was soul recognition while he was in the body that it's not supposed to work that way. But that there were things that he was doing and saying in the moment that he couldn't help but to do because it was part of the soul contract, despite even recognizing how it hurt you. And so he's just acknowledging how much you've grown, how much you're on track, how much you're on path for everything that you came here to do on this earth. Like he wants you to know, like he's showing me like acing a test, like A+ on a test paper, like everything that you're meant to be doing, you're doing. You're on track. Don't worry. He wants you to know like you've got this. He's got you, that like, and he's like pointing like to the sky, like to the heavens, like to God. Like he wants you to know like how divinely favored you are and how much blessing you came into this lifetime with, for your pathway. And now he's showing me some good memories, like just moments where you and he had the opportunity to laugh at certain things together. Um, He's hoping that you can both forgive him, but also remember the good times when you think of him. And he just wants you to know he never meant to hurt you. Okay. That's what I have. That's all he wanted to say. Anything else? No, no. Hmm. He's just acknowledging that it's nice to see your mom again in this state, like on this side, like not in the body, but like in when you've dropped all the humanity and the ego and so he's like, it's nice to see your mom again in this state. Hmm. Okay, that's what I have. Channeled message for you from your dad. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so let's find these channeled messages. Hmm. Was there a pet that died? Because he's showing me a dog. He's with a dog. He looks like he's wearing like a white t-shirt. Um, okay. Move through your fear is this message. And bottom of the deck, emotions are energy in motion. We've got like what looks like a little kundalini energy there. Okay. As you know, as usual, I'm just bawling. Thank you, Kay. I'm so grateful for you. I needed this. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Good night, Amaya. Bye, Flower. Okay, so let's see. Move through your fear. That's the wrong booklet. Let me find this. That's card 41. Okay. Let's see if I can get this on camera so you can read it. You can screenshot that if you want. What if just on the other side of fear was your biggest opportunity or breakthrough? Whether you're on your healing journey or moving towards something new in your life, fear may be raising its head and stopping you in your tracks. Often that fear comes in the form of negative thoughts and beliefs, but don't let the fear win. There may have been a time in your life where fear was a helpful protection, but right now it may be stopping you on your path to success. Way to move past fear is not to ignore it or pretend it's not there. Excuse me. But instead, identify it, feel it, and notice what thoughts and feelings arise. Move through it rather than around it. How to move through fear? Ask yourself, where is the fear showing up in my life? What is that fear holding me back from achieving? How does fear show up in your physical body? Perhaps in the belly or the chest, or does it affect your breath? What thoughts appear when you feel fearful? Getting to know your fear makes it much. Begin to realize it's simply uh, thoughts and sensations and not reality. You can choose to step out of your thoughts and redirect your focus in the direction you want to go. Okay, so let's move through your fear. Let's just check out the bottom of the deck. 18. Emotions are energy in motion. And that was definitely a big piece of the reading that we looked at, that there was this something for you to stay aware of when it comes to your health and your emotions, that they're super highly linked, especially hormones for you. Motion is simply energy in motion. It's a feeling in the body that wants to move and be released. For example, sadness wants to move through the body by releasing tears and noise. But when we suppress that emotion, sadness is stored in the body and creates emotional or physical discomfort. Let your emotions move in order to release them through your body. We often resist feeling an emotion because we fear that we might get caught in it. However, the truth is that it is in the resistance to feeling that emotion gets stuck. What we resist persists. Allow yourself to feel the full depth of emotion as it arises, giving it space to be felt and released through the body. How to release emotion? Stand with your feet hip width distance apart. Place your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your belly and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, observing how the body feels. When you identify what emotion is present, break it down into sensations. Connect with all of the different sensations in your body, for example, tightness, tingling, discomfort, or even numbness. Once you've identified them, give them your whole body a shake. At the same time, deepen your breath and release some sound. The stronger or the stranger, the better. Allow whatever sensations you were feeling to be released. Okay, so that's what I have there for you. I think these two will help, um, especially if there's any fear related to your father's transition. Like, what am I going to do now? Um, this is really, really going to help you. Sounds like my boyfriend is right. I need to go back to the gym, start moving again, and move through all the energy and emotions. I'll never forget one time, um, I had a boyfriend tell me that, like, you need to go to the gym. Girl, that man almost lost his life that night. Like, for real, for real. Because I've never been like I've always had more of like kind of a athletic build, especially back in the day, like at that point when he told me that. But I thought he was trying to tell me I was fat. But no, he was like trying to say, like, Miss Thing, you have trapped emotions in your body that you need to get out. And I want you to be able to release them because they were getting in the way of our communication and us being present with one another. He didn't know how to say all that. All he knew how to say was like, I, I think you should go to the gym, hon. He said it so nicely too. Like I said, I still remember where we were when he said it. He was in the kitchen with me, and that man almost lost his whole life that night. Um, but yeah, it does help. It helps move stuck energy for sure. And so I strongly recommend it, especially based on what I was seeing in your chart. Okay. Um, stop share there. He's a personal trainer and energy worker. Now look at that. And it comes from a good place, but I just give him the look. I know, right? Men are really taking their life in their own hands when they want to tell a woman to work out. Like, you know what? Like, say that shit at your own risk. I don't care what kind of shape you have as a woman. Like, say that shit at your own risk, because the machine has come for women and their bodies, and whether she looks good and knows it or doesn't, like, you just never, certain words just never need to come out of a man's mouth to a woman. Ah, but yeah, he it sounds like he really understood. He sees what you need and he's like really wanting to see you get it. So that's beautiful, Jessica. Um, really beautiful. Even if it's just walking, like I said, I feel like that can go a long way for you right now to just start to release from the body stuck emotions. So that's the guidance. Okay. Kylie said, that's crazy. I know, right? It's crazy. They think they can say that kind of stuff. He says, I don't want to push you in a wheelchair while we travel the world. Okay, so he took it to a whole other level. My man was just like, you got stuck emotions, girl. He didn't bring wheelchairs into the mix. But that's okay. Hey, listen, the fact that he's like, I'm traveling the world with you. There's just a particular way I want to do it. I just love that for you. And I love that for him. He's in it to win it with you, girl. So, hey, he wants to go to the gym with you, go to the gym with him. Why not? Right? Why not? Hopefully, those channeled messages helped and supported you a little bit, Jessica Marie. It was beautiful to see your dad. Let me just make some separations here. Give him some, move him out of my space because I don't normally talk to people who have crossed over. Oh my God, your daddy's so respectful. He's so sweet. He's like, I'm going. He's very respectful of the fact that I don't normally deal with the deceased. So he's very sweet. With both of my parents dying before 63, I know I got to take my health seriously. Yeah, for sure. Although I do see a long life in front of you, Jessica. I had a man hitting on me, wanting to get together due to seeing me 2 years ago. I've gained weight, want him to see what he was working with now. We meet. Next morning, I got chair workout. What is wrong with these men? Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, like I said, these men are really playing with their own lives with this foolishness. Oh my gosh. I appreciate those messages more than you know, Kay. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm really glad I could share them with you. Once in a while, a deceased loved one will come pay me a little visit um, for someone and deliver some messages. So I had somebody's twin come through once and he was so vivid. Like he came through in like a whole outfit and like showed me his form and everything. I was like, "Does he look like this, and this, and wear these kind of clothes?" She was like, "OMG, that is exactly him." So yeah. If you'd like to get on the list, you can. You would be next. I just finished up tarot, astro, and channeling for Jessica Marie. I would be reading for you with some tarot, astro, and channeling. If you have a question, I would love to do it. Just drop 4444 to the PayPal link in the pinned comment, and you would be next. It would be awesome to read for you. Hey, hope, love, and sunshine. It's always great to see you. I love that you stopped by. How have you been, girl? I was planning to go to 10, but we may wrap up just a little bit early here if no one else wants to jump on the list. Hope, how have you been? Because I think there's a recorded reading that I might need to pull out for a client. Let me just check and see if she wants me to do the recorded. No, she wants to do, she can do 10. Okay, perfect. Thank you again. All right, let me just move that over. If you'd like to jump on the list, you can. I would be reading for you next. The list is open. I would love to take a look at your chart, channel for you, do some astrology for you, pull some tarot cards for you. Hi, Kay. I'm good. Surviving. Hope you're well. Yes, I am. Heading out to walk the dog before I clock back in. Enjoy, Flower. Enjoy your walk. Speaking of walking, we were just talking about the importance of like movement as therapy. So that's really good. You have a dog that keeps you on the move. Uh, how have you been, Kay, with all these energies? It's been mixed, up and down. I've had some family changes as well. Um, I lost a cousin of mine, or at least I found out I lost a cousin of mine back in it was the beginning of July, but my cousin's passing just really hit me and the rest of my family so hard because my cousin was 26. Um, it was just really painful because they were so young. And, my cousin was trans, my cousin was a model, um, intuitive, but also really struggled with some mental health stuff. And it was the kind of thing that just made me like it put me in a really deep and contemplative space around like living authentically, and was there anything I could have done that really would have changed the trajectory of things for my cousin. Um and what can I do now that will keep my other younger cousins like on the game board because I worry about them. um on my mom's side of the family, I am one of the elder cousins. There's like three of us who are older, and there's like a gaggle who are much, much younger. And I just worry about them for various reasons. But um, yeah, it's got to be, I'm going to be honest, it's been a rough summer. I'm being real transparent with you, Jessica. It's been a rough summer. But yeah, I'm coming through it. Um, I wish a lot of things had been different this year and this summer in particular, but who doesn't wish that at this point, especially if you're an American, right? So here we are. We're making the best of it. That's heavy, babes. Sending you love and comfort. Thank you. It has been heavy. I feel like I'm really only just now starting to turn a little bit of a corner around it. Um, yeah, it has been heavy. Okay. Um, let's just see here. Doesn't look like anyone has joined the list. So if there's no one else who wants to get a read tonight, we'll close the list. Just wanted to pop on and give you a chance to connect. Since the first week of September sold out on my booking calendar. At least I think it's sold out. Um, JM says, I knew this year was going to be intense with it being a 9 year, but damn, it's been more than I anticipated. I know, right? You want to know the wild shit? My cousin was born on 9/9 to their 28th day. Sorry, not even 28, 26th birthday, which would have been which is an 8 year for them personally. Didn't even make it to 27, which would have been 9 years. So on 9/9, my cousin would have been 27, which would have brought the nine back around again. Isn't that wild? Like some crazy shit. Um, Kind of makes me think like my cousin, this might have been my cousin's last lifetime here on Earth with all those nines. Like this was just a completion of a major soul cycle um for them. Yeah. Shout out to the Life Path Nines, right? For real though. Um, all them Life Path Nines and all the Virgos. Shout out to the Virgos. It has been a wild year with just a lot happening, like geopolitically, socioculturally. Um, I feel like it's gone by fast, but when I look at all the changes that have happened in the United States, it frankly has not gone by fast enough for me. Like I'm already ready to be out in 2028. For real, for real. Um, that or in Canada or France. Um, Shout out to the Canadians because I really love how you all have responded to the crazy that's going on here in the US. Um, but yeah, if you want to jump on the list, you can. If nobody jumps on the list, I may close up shop soon. I am channeling and doing tarot and astro for people. Sometimes channel messages are coming through for folks. So if you feel like you're really in need of some guidance, this is a great time to get it. Come to Canada. Listen, it has crossed my mind several times. Especially, I have so many like really lovely clients in Canada, like lovely people. You, as you know, like I've got somebody else in Toronto, several people in Toronto, and Montreal. So it's just been nice to connect with them this year. Canadians are just such wonderful people. Um, you guys have any questions for me about collective energies? Anything you want me to look at in collective energies that you want to ask about in present time? Because if so, I can look at those things while we give folks a chance to decide if they want a reading or to jump on the list. If you have any collective energy questions, I'm happy to share what's been showing up. I haven't really done a lot of collective channeling of late. Um, I see the stuff, but I don't always say anything about what I'm seeing. I will hook you up. Thank you so much, Jessica. I might need you to hire me so I can get like a working visa. Oh my goodness. Um, and if you're just joining, welcome in. Tarot, astro, um, anything about the US. What the F is going on in the collective? Yeah. I mean, be specific about which part of the collective you want me to look at, because there's several parts of the collective I could speak to. Let me know. With the US specifically, so one of the things, so I am getting ready to open up a community. And in the community, we're going to do all the things that I did in the extended versions of the lunar updates, where I would look at the other energies. We'll be doing that inside of the community. And in doing that, we'll be able to talk more directly about geopolitical changes in a space that doesn't get my content suppressed. Because I would like to talk about a lot of that stuff, but it's not like, as you know, we've come into a season where um, things are not only highly censored, but highly sensitive. And so there's things that I want to be able to say that saying on, at least on the main YouTube channel, it's just like I'm not able to do that there, but I will be able to speak more freely in a closed community container. So we'll be doing that when the community opens. But the little tidbit that I can give you, the US is about to go to through, or is I should say, is already going through a massive death and resurrection transit. It's going to take about a decade's worth of time to fully shake out. Um, it won't be as intense as the first American Revolution, but think of it sort of along those lines, where there is a complete ending of what was and a rebuilding of something completely different. Um, Astrologically, we do see this in the chart of the United States, where there's just planetary movement that's indicative of um, things that are akin to what the first, like the Revolutionary War looked like um, when it happened for the United States. So, massive changes in power structure, massive changes in what we consider to be baseline law, governance, and structure to the country, massive changes in sort of the consciousness of the country, the way that the country thinks of itself changes that in that regard, and changes in all of that will constitute a change in the positioning of the country geopolitically when it comes to the way other countries think about the United States. This process, it began, I really want to say, back in 2016, heightened, and there's like peaking of this energy in 2023. We'll see this year, this is the first year where we're really seeing such a massive, like, kind of like the attempts to change were everything before 2023. Come 2023 was when like all of the changes started to really show themselves in more stark ways. And that's just going to continue. Like, we haven't even seen the biggest of the changes to come. They're not necessarily good, they're not necessarily bad. I don't categorize things in that way if you know me, or if you've worked with me, but I am seeing that it's sharpening the collective consciousness, not just in the US, but worldwide, around how important it is to be civically involved and how much power collectives of people have when they band together, and how important it is to be paying attention, to not autopilot what's unfolding, you know. And so this is Pluto through Aquarius at work. We're also, of course, seeing the rise of AI, with power going to technology. Pluto is power, Aquarius is new tech. But Aquarius is also groups and collectives of people. And so I think it's going to take a while for the American people to really start to take power back into their own hands, um, and reshape government, reshape politics in a way that, doesn't disempower, like it's not voting for your own disempowerment. But that it's going to take some time, but that is the ultimate direction of things. And so some of what we're seeing now is like a wind up to that ultimate outcome. Can we look at Taylor's chart and see the timing of her marriage? Perhaps, MF, if you want to do that. It's funny, I was literally just looking at that yesterday, 2 days ago with Aso Tarot. The two of us were having a little chat about Taylor and Travis and Maddie, and just looking at the entire thing between the three of them, and like why Maddie was even a factor in the first place, and how he pressed her buttons in particular ways, and why Travis was the ultimate choice. Now he fits into the picture. So yeah, we can look at that as well. Um, what's the best thing we can focus on collectively? Nature, human interactions, technological growth to better our current circumstances. Honestly, Kylie, it's just where you can make a difference in your community. That is the best thing that you can focus on for several reasons. With Pluto and Aquarius, Aquarius really deals with communities in certain ways. It deals with collectives of people, groups of people, power coming into the hands of the people. Figuring out where you can make a difference is the place you really want to put your attention. Let me see if I can pull up a chart of the United States. Give me one moment. This period of time, the next 20 years, is really going to be about coming into your awareness and understanding that you are part, that you're not operating as like what you do impacts other people, that you're not impactless, you're not non-consequential, you're not a nothing, you're not a nobody, that your choices do actually matter. And so we're coming into a season here where I'm just looking up the United States astrology chart so that I can give you some accuracy, some visuals to what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, this is the accepted chart data. It is 5:10 p.m. Although I don't really think that that's the actual, and there's a lot of debate about the actual time. But when I've started to look at significant events for the United States, 5:10 p.m. just it didn't track. Okay, so let me share screen. Okay, dokie. And actually, let me come back to the live stream so I can see what you guys are saying in the chat while I talk through this. Okay. Let's just refresh. Okay, there you go. Okay, so here we go. Here's the chart of the United States. I do see that there is going to be some level of like economic recovery. It does look like it's probably going to be more next year than this year. Like, and I want to say from like next July onward. Uh, and that's just if that's, and it's a big if. Um, the governance can start to work together, like the Fed and the White House can start to work together to really figure out how to generate income for the economy that goes back into the hands of the people and doesn't just enrich the billionaire class here in the United States. Because right now, some of what we have going on doesn't really help people like you, people like me. That being said, though, and that will be a function of Jupiter going into the second sign from the sun of the country. The United States sun is a Cancer sun. And whenever we go to the second sign from the sun, we're talking about the earned income for a country. Unfortunately, some of the decisions recently made serve to explode the national debt, and we already had a significant national debt to begin with. And so, um, assuming some decision there, it looks like we are supposed to get on the road to recovery by the time we get into um Jupiter in Leo. And by late next year, I'm talking about by the holidays next year, things start to ease. But yeah, between now and then, it is going to be a little bit more challenging of a period of time. So let me show you the transits. Let me pull those up now. There we go. Um, if we work with the 510 PN, yeah, so MF, I will be sharing the discussion inside the community that I'm going to be starting soon. This is not a discussion that I want to be having on YouTube at large, given both the sensitivity of people and the censorship. Like if you like the way I read and you're willing to pay what? I think it'll be like $22 a month, then we can have this discussion on a more regular basis. But I'm not going to be doing this on YouTube, this type of discussion on YouTube. I'm doing it over here because this channel is not monetized in the way that my main channel is. And so I need that content to circulate. This content I don't need to circulate. But all of that to say, if we use the 5:10 p.m. rising sign for the United States, Jupiter moving into what would be considered the US's eighth house also has the potential, unfortunately, to explode debt, which we're already seeing the impact of with some of the decisions that got made between the Fed and the White House. There have been decisions made that are causing the US to go further into debt, even though we really can't. We shouldn't be trying to find ways to not do that, but I digress. It has the potential to explode debt, but because it's the second sign from the sun, it also has the potential to help the economy as well. Jupiter going into the sign of Leo. Jupiter gets into Leo next July. We really needed to get past the 13th degree of Leo, and that will be towards the end of next year. So I'll just show you that, like literally almost like 1 year from now, 2026. We see Jupiter at that 13th degree. So that's literally 30 degrees away from the sun of the United States chart. This is when I would expect that we will see some sort of economic easing for the United States. However, we're still in the midst of a very challenging period of time and change for the country. Again, if we stick with this particular birth time, we do see Saturn, we see Neptune at the base of the United States chart. And this is indicative of restructuring and turmoil on terra firma, like within the country, where the country is needing to reshape its own identity. Aries is a sign of identity, and do this from the inside out. Saturn wants to strip away everything that doesn't serve the country and the way that the country, like what the country was built on. It wants to remove that. Neptune is dissolving the country's identity and what we've known it to be, so something else can be born. And this is going to be a longer process. Saturn through Aries, it's that doesn't end. It's just, let me give you a time frame for that.
Normally Saturn's about 2.5 years per sign, but I think it's going to be a little bit faster here in Aries. Take it out to the tail end of 2027. Let's take it into early 2028. The most intense part of this process will be, I think, through the end of the first quarter 2028. Yeah, by the time we start to get into the end of the first quarter of 2028, some of the intensity around like the strife that we're seeing socioculturally within the United States starts to wane. Like the people start to realize, okay, we are really all on the same side. The challenge, though, is that we still have the South Node crossing over the sun of the country, Mercury for the country, the consciousness of the country, the soul of the country, Jupiter, like the opportunities that the country has. This country has a Jupiter rising as a chart ruler. With the South Node crossing over everything in Cancer, it's still going to be, I don't want to say a destructive time for this country, but it's a time of great purging, I think is probably the best way I can describe it. And purging means what you think it means. There's a release of a lot of things that it doesn't work for the country anymore. Now, you know, and I know that there's plenty of people and powers that be that will want to control what that release thing means. Like, well, that means we're going to release all the progressives and get rid of progressive ideologies, or we're going to release all of the conservatives and get rid of like religio conservative ideologies and go back to a separation of church and state. You know, there's so much polarization that's unfolding right now where each side feels like the solution is to eliminate the other side. By the time we get out to the late 2030s, it does look like, based on what I'm seeing here, the people start to realize, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The quote unquote other side is not the issue. The religious people aren't the issue. The conservative people aren't the issue. The progressive people aren't the issue. The GLBT people aren't the issue. The whites aren't the issue. The blacks aren't the issue. The issue is that we're being told to work against one another. We're being told to see each other as enemies and as problems. And the reason I'm saying that is because we will see the South Node cross over Mercury. Mercury is the governor of the house of partnership, duality, because Gemini is the governing sign. And so that both, and it does look like people will start to, as Jessica Marie said, at least in our country, you know, Canada, you guys have already figured this out to some degree, work together, get along. But the identity of the country is still going to be in a process of evolution, almost erasure and then recreation, with Neptune moving through Aries at the base of the chart and moving toward a square with the sun. This is a much longer term process. Like I said, we're moving into an energy that's very much like the American Revolution. Um, you know, back in 1776, this country is seeing, you go back to the natal or the transits now, this country is seeing a Pluto return and is living through it right now. And so Pluto coming back into the position it was in at the birth of the nation, and Pluto represents death, endings, integration, growth, and learning, and then resurrection and rebirth. It's the cycle of resurrection. With Pluto coming back into position at the place it was at the birth of this country, the events that unfolded that brought the country into nationhood are repeating in present time. Okay. And so, Yeah, it's a very interesting period of time. There's like I said, many powers that be that want to control the way we're looking at things, the way this is unfolding. Um, so Kylie, to go back, this is a very long-winded answer to your question. To go back to the answer to your question, when you say what should we be focusing on right now, you be focusing on where you can make a difference, where you can make an impact, where you can actually change the course and the direction of history. And so any sort of like civic participation that you can do, whether it's like voter registration, whether it's talking with your family, knocking on doors, writing letters to your representative or your congressman, whether it is, being a part of a group that goes to speak in schools, or takes elders to go vote, or being a poll site worker, anything you can do to keep your hands in the clay in terms of shaping the direction of your home country is what it is you should be focused on. So, however that works for you, right? Like there's different things for different people, different ways we can all participate, but that's what we should be focusing on at this time because the country's up for re-scripting, making a new identity, and you are here in this moment at this time to play a part in that. Okay, so it's really about participating in the sort of country you want to live in. As disempowered as it feels like you might be, you actually have more power than you know. And this 20-year transit of Pluto through Aquarius is going to help us all see that. So, that's what I have on the answer to both the question, like what's going on with the US, and the question, um, well, what should we be doing right now? Uh, that right there is what we should be doing right now. Um, that's how we should be working it right now. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And See, Jessica Marie says we need a total breakdown so we can rebuild. Yay, let's buckle in and find a way to enjoy the ride, knowing it's all for our greater benefit. That's exactly right, Jessica Marie. Exactly right. And MF says they want the Maddie Taylor Travis conversation in the community. Yeah, that's something we would do inside the community for sure. Is have that kind of conversation, like look at people's engagement and marriage dates and like, okay, what does that mean in terms of like just where they're going and what's unfolding for them and their compatibility as a couple and how they can work together and like, that sort of thing and have success in their relationship, celebrity stuff, pop culture stuff. We'll be doing all of that inside the community. So, yeah, super good stuff, guys. Other questions, things you want me to look at for the collective? I can channel, I can look at charts, that sort of thing. Just let me know what you want to do. Also, the list is open. If you would like to jump on the list, you absolutely can. I would love to read for you. You just need to send 4444 USD to the PayPal link in the pinned comment, and you can jump on the list. If you have been on the list but you would like to ask another question, you can absolutely do that. I'm also just answering collective questions right now. Um, if you have a question about the collective, you can let me know, and I'm happy to take a look at it for you. Both psychically, I can channel and look, but I can also look astrologically as well. Great questions, you guys. I'm so glad you asked. Thanks for letting me look at that for us. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. Yeah, this is definitely a period of refinement with Saturn preparing to square the sun of the country, Jupiter, Venus of the country, as well as Mercury for the country. This is a huge period of refinement for this country. Let me just refresh the chat. Thank you for the US info. You're welcome, Hope, Love, and Sunshine. Hopefully it gave you some insight about what's to come. Um, yeah, definitely an economic kind of restructuring going on right now with Pluto moving into the second sign of the second house of the country. So, just it will get better. It's just going to be a slow process. And the more we can all participate in it, the better it's going to be for us personally. When do you think people will start having babies again? I know the decline has been huge. That's a whole other question. There's a lot of stuff I want to say about that I can't say here, but um and it's not just the decline for the US, it's like worldwide decline. Um mm, you know, I think some of this has a lot to do with cycles that are greater than just transits. Let me see if I get any channeled information around this. Okay, it's a ways away, Kylie, like a ways away. Um, on the so right now, collectively, we are going through a tremendous period of geopolitical and sociocultural restructuring. Um, Not just economically, but in like industry wise with AI, but also just in terms of the relationships between humanity and the planet and how we're living on the planet. We see climate change, economic change, we see, you know, changes between workers and AI and who has a job and who doesn't, and who gets an education and who doesn't get an education. And all of that impacts, where is it safe to live? Where is it safe to raise a family where there aren't, you know, destructive acts of nature, rising coastlines, floods, tornadoes, earthquakes, these sorts of things. And how can I have a job that where the industry won't be destroyed by AI in, the next decade? Or complete, no, I don't want to say destroyed, but just like completely rewritten. The number I'm getting in my head, Kylie, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's like 60 years from now. Um, Before there's a settling down of that doesn't mean you won't have a baby. Um, but just when the relationship that people have to starting a family goes into a place where there's value around that again. There's so much I want to say about this that I can't say here, but it's going to take about 60 years from where we are right now. So what is this? 2025, so around 2080. um I won't be here. At least I hope not to be here. I don't think I'll be here given how old I am now. But it's gonna like to reshape our relationship to economy, industry, finances, education, and the planet and the environment in such a way where people feel safe in their nervous system to have kids. Is going to take at least 60 years from now. Of different types of policy decisions, different types of um, messaging decisions, different distribution of resources so that having a family and having kids is viable in a way that it has become like it's just become unviable at present time. Yeah. But that makes sense because it's a global change. It's going to take some time to sort out. That's exactly what I'm seeing, Jessica Marie. It's not just a US thing, it's a global thing. Um, yeah. So if you join the community when I launch it and you want to ask this question again, because we'll do like a form of like live Q&A every 2 weeks when we do the additional insights for transits. If you want to ask me again in there, I can tell you all the things that I can't say here. Great Grandma Kate. Psh, you miss me with that, girl. I ain't trying to be nobody's grandma for real. For real, I am not trying to be here at that time. Like, mm-mm, nope. Not at all. But yeah, and it won't be, even in 60 years from now, it will not be what it was like, let's say like during the baby boom or like in the 1950s and the 1960s, like the post World War II sort of baby. It won't be like that. It'll be more than what it is now, but before we get to there, we are going to see even more decline um in birth rates before we get there. Kylie, I ain't even trying to live to great auntie status. Miss me with that. I do not want to be on this planet that long. I have no desire for it. It's always, I have, okay, so I have a question for you guys. Let me just see. Okay, yeah. If anybody wants to jump on the list, you can. But I do have a question for you guys, just in terms of your consciousness and your thinking about life on the planet. Um, there's so many, and it was like even like pre 2020, like in the 2010s, like in the early 2000s, in the late 90s, like in the health world, the rhetoric was a lot about um how to live to be a centenarian, how to live to be 100, like how to have a longer life, how to have a long life, eat this to have a long life. Here's where people live the longest. Here is the places where people are live to be centenarians. And I'm just curious, do you want to live long? Like, is that a desire of yours? Do you want to live a long life? Do you want to live to be 100? Like, is that a goal of yours? To have the longest life possible. Like, what is your goal around your longevity? Because it's interesting. There was a time when um that was like all people talked about in terms of the health and wellness world. Like living a long life was a like just such a super goal, like, and here's how you do it, like this lengthens your telomeres so you can live longer, and eat this so that you can live longer, don't eat that because it shortens your lifespan. I'm just curious how you guys feel about living a long life. Hope says I'll be dead, buried, and mummified by then. Kylie says we're going to have more robots than children. Yeah, yeah, that's real possible. More robots than the children's. Jessica Marie says, my great grandfather was 106 when he passed. Wow. And he made it look good. That's amazing. So I used to. Now I want to see my stepdaughters grow, but I'm good by 80 to peace out. That's so sweet. You have stepdaughters. That, yeah, I get that. Yeah, you want to see them grow. You want to see them come into adulthood, live healthy, happy lives, have their own families. I get that. Makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna put up a poll. I am super curious what you guys think. Let me see. Let me refresh my chat and see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, I'm always fascinated if people want that, if they don't want that, why, how you feel about that. You guys want to let me know in the chat. You guys are quiet. Okay, I might wrap up then. He was still driving until his late 90s, gardening until 102. He was amazing. But as it is right now, Perry is trying to kill me before. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, girl. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Zero desire to live long. Hope, love, and sunshine says, I'm ready to go to another planet tomorrow. Disappointed and saddened by the state of humanity, or lack of, more accurately. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, the billionaires want to go terraform Mars, and I'd say, hey, go on, like live there. Bye. Because if COVID was any evidence that when humans stop, like go inside and stop messing up the earth, like the earth rebounds very nicely, very quickly. Kylie says, well, would I be having a child? Is Kay going to be the auntie? I don't know. Too many questions. Jessica Marie says, yep, I'm ready to go back to the Pleiades. Bingo, Jessica. Bingo. That's it for me. Um, Haley says, honestly, getting old is like one of my biggest fears. LOL, losing yourself in a way, losing my physical abilities and my body growing weaker, and the people around you. All of that makes me uncomfy. Haley, I get it, girl. Jessica Marie says, if I could be a billionaire, I'd do a better job than the current billionaires. Yeah. If you could be well, see, that's the thing, Jessica Marie. I don't know if you could be a billionaire. I think maybe you pay too much of your taxes to be a billionaire, girl. Um, that's the trick of it. You like paying taxes and being a billionaire are like anathema. You got to do one or you can do the other, but you can't do them both. Um, yeah, yeah. Kylie, let's say you had a child. Would you want to be old? And if you didn't have a child, would you want to live a long life? Kylie says, I'm a billionaire. It's pretty cool. It's stressful. Is that right, Kylie? I love that for you. Please maintain your billionaire status. And please tell your fellow billionaires to pay their taxes. Hope, Love, and Sunshine says, honestly, I just don't see a purpose too much. Everything feels like a big, massive lie. People, politics, international wars and affairs, religions, and even spirituality. What is the purpose of it all? Dang, Hope. She on some deep shit tonight. Yeah, I get it. I see why you say that. I see why you feel that. Like, yeah, definitely that, like, is this all there is sensation? For sure. Jessica Marie says, I'd also give away all of it. Foster kids, unhoused, addicts, hunger would get all my money. I get that, Jessica Marie. Yeah, for sure. Someone always pulling some BS. It involves lawsuits. Someone always pulling some BS. I get it, Kylie. Yeah, these are good questions, right? Like, um, these are the right questions. I have the same questions, you guys. Um, I did ask my mom that recently, like not this recently, but like last year, last holiday season. I remember standing in the kitchen and just asking her, like, Mom, do you ever feel a little like, is this all there is when it comes to life? Like getting up, making breakfast, like going to work out with dad, like going to church, coming home, watching your shows. They're retired now. I was like, do you ever feel like, is this all there is? She, she, I come from such a religious family. She was like, no. And if I ever do, I turn to God. I was like, okay, I see where this conversation is going. Never mind, woman. Never mind. Let's stick to talking about the Gilded Age. Um, and Downton Abbey. Never mind. um, but yeah, she's like, there's too much goodness God has put on the earth for me to think that. Um, I just feel like I'm on a freaking treadmill every day, like a hamster wheel. Sometimes, like, life can't just be this. If this is all it is, I'm sort of over it already. Um, Kylie says, I'm not saying that out loud, but I have a clock out time. I get it, Kylie. Listen, I get it. I have clock out conditions. Like, me and God have had some conversations like, if X, Y, and Z occur, like just take me. Like I'm ready to come home. Like at that point, it's a wrap. Um, yeah, Jessica Marie, not at all. Not the answer I was looking for, but that was her answer. You know, I gotta respect that. That was her answer. She was like, "Don't be so morbid, Kay." I was like, "Okay, Mama, I got you. I won't be so morbid no more." Kylie says the child portion. I'll know if or when I get there. Gotcha. Yeah. It's just fascinating. I'm just curious how you all feel about it. Thank you for participating and answering my question. I was very, very curious how you all felt about living a long life. Um, you know, very curious about it. Jessica Marie says, yes, my man thinks we'll survive an apocalypse. I, on the other hand, deuces. Yeah. Likewise. Like, I'm not trying, again, I have conditions. um, a lot of child-free folk have mentioned that losing a parent has been a reason for not wanting a child. That's interesting. I've not heard that before, Kylie, but that's interesting. I've heard child-free folks say, because I have to care for my aging parents, I do not want a child because they're like children. I don't want to have to care for kids and parents at the same time. I've heard them say that. Jessica Marie says, my man's a Marine. So Marine's gonna Marine. Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm just a little fairy. I don't wanna, yeah. One of my favorite comedians, Josh Johnson, I'm gonna leave you with this clip. It was a very funny clip. Let me see if I can find it. Um, had something to say about surviving a zombie apocalypse. Let me see if I can find that clip. Oh no, I'm not able to find it. Ugh, but it was such a good clip. I love him too, Jessica Marie. Flower Forgiveness says, I do not want to live in this body for a long time. I've abused and not cared for it. Some damage is irreversible. That would be torture. Yeah, girl. That I understand. One of the challenging things would be living in a body that is um just not thriving. I that again, I have conditions. Like if X, Y, and Z condition happen, just take me, God. I'm coming home. I don't want to be here no more. A long life with poor health would be so painful. I don't need to live a long time. Um, okay, let me see if this is the clip that I'm looking for.
I'll die.
Okay, yeah, I think this is the one. All right, I'm going to share this with you guys and then I'm going to bounce. It's so fun hanging out with you. I love listening to you guys' question, like hearing the way you guys think about stuff. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. Okay, so this is a funny. He's one of my favorite comedians. His name is Josh Johnson. Um, and when you said the Marine is going to Marine and he thinks y'all will survive an apocalypse, this is what it makes me think of.
I can already tell you right now, when it comes to things getting bad in the world, apocalypse type of stuff, I'm not I'll die. Apocalypse? I will be dying. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I don't know. You know, I had some friends that I went to church with, all prepping and all this stuff like that. I was like, I don't know why you trying so hard to live if the apocalypse happens. Like, we both think we going to the same place. I'm gonna get there early. Why would I keep fighting? No, that's crazy. I'm not gonna keep fighting after bullets. I can't make bullets, so that's the end of my fighting, right? And I can barely hold a gun at that. I'm gonna miss a lot. So if it's like a zombie apocalypse situation, I'm getting bit, okay? I'm not trying to get bit. I'm not going to offer up my neck or something like that. I just already know that if I'm in a zombie apocalypse situation, when the zombie is coming at me, I'm going to be like, oh, he ain't got no ears, 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 he ain't got no ears. I will not be running. He ain't got no ears, he ain't got no ears, he ain't got no ears, he ain't got no ears. Biting my neck. He ain't got no ears, he ain't got no ears, he ain't got no ears, he ain't got no... No, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm a zombie immediately. You know, I feel like I wouldn't even zombie right.
Yeah. So that for me, I love Josh Johnson. He is hilarious. But that's also my thought. Like, apocalypse. I'm not trying to be here. Forget this. um, yeah. Jessica says, I sent this to him. Okay, so you sent this to the Marine. What did he say? Oh my goodness. You're welcome, Jessica Marie, for the evening. Flower says, I know I need to work on it. Yeah. Likewise, same. Um, Kylie says, but I don't see you going anywhere, so don't try it. Girl, you don't know. You don't know where I'm going. um, Flower says you have a lot to teach. Not sure if you know that or not. Now that I do, I agree. Flower does have a lot to teach. A lot. Um, yeah. um, he still thinks he can save me. Aw. Hey, that's love right there. Let him believe it and work with him on it. Let him save you, girl. That's a beautiful thing. That is such a beautiful thing. I love that. But yeah, that would be me. Zombie apocalypse coming. I ain't even trying. I ain't even gonna try. Nope. I ain't trying to like what live on the other side of that. Nah, I'm good. Too much of a Martian over here. I'm fighting. I love it. I love it. Oh man. Well, beloveds, I think this is where I love you and leave you with a ton of love. I am going to wrap up here. It was a lot of fun chatting with you, especially on the collective topics and like hearing your thoughts on the polls and my questions. Thank you for asking such great collective questions. It was a lot of fun to be with you today. Shout out to the top fans for today: Kylie, Flower and Forgiveness, Jessica Marie, Hope, Love, and Sunshine, Amaya, Raven, P. We had JB. Thanks for stopping by. MF stopped by. Manger fromage. Thank you for stopping by, MF. Yvonne and Holler, thank you. It was really good to be with all of you all today. Love you long time as well. And if you haven't yet signed up for Aso channel, Aso Tarot's channel, please do. She is my ace. She is such a good reader. Let's just see what she has done recently. What was the last thing she posted? What are their true intentions? Pick a card 3 days ago. Urgent messages from your spirit guide. Also, what's going on in his love connection? Definitely check out Aso Tarot's channel. She is such a gem of a reader. If you like my style of reading and the way I cover topics, you're gonna love Aso. She just does tarot and she is brilliant at it. Also, I strongly recommend checking out Divine Formations. She's another favorite of mine. Some of you may remember her as Spiritual Baddie. She is often live and she'll do live mini readings as well. And she does a lot more channeled information than I do. She's exceptional at channeling. Especially if you want to look at like somebody else's intentions, thoughts, and feelings, like where things are headed between you and another person. It's kind of her specialty area. But once in a while, she'll throw in some really deep spiritual insights, awareness, and information. And that's really one of the main reason I love listening to her is that her spiritual capacity and awareness and understanding is just so deep. Both of them, Esoterro and Divine Formation. So I strongly recommend taking a walk over to their channels, hitting that subscribe button and notification bell, and checking them out. Thank you all for being here. So much fun to play with you, and I will see you at the